Hi everyone, Corey Pageviews here again of T2 Marketing International for another installment of our Google Analytics video series with the Social Media Strategy Summit. Today I thought I'd go over a couple of the key metrics within our Google Analytics dashboard that everybody sees but not everybody understands. So what you'll see here in our sample dashboard with your website is the Audience Overview tab. Now in this submenu we get some pretty good insights into what our audience is doing, the activity that's taken place, and how engaged our audience actually is. So what we're going to look at here are just these 7 basic metrics that every marketer should know. So first we have sessions. Now sessions obviously used to be called visits. Sessions is the number of times that people have accessed your website. The difference between sessions and users is that users are the unique visitors who have come to your site. So users will always be equal to or less than sessions, depending on how many times people have come back to visit your site. Page views is the total number of pages in all of those sessions that have been viewed by visitors. Obviously, pages per session, the number of pages that have been visited per session on your site. Ideally, you would have a fairly high number here to show a more engaged audience. Session duration, the amount of time that's spent on average when someone visits your site. Again, you're going to see a pretty close connection between the pages per session and the session duration. The higher your pages per session, likely the higher your session duration is going to be. Now, bounce rate is something we hear pretty often. Not everybody knows the exact definition of what a bounce rate is. A bounce rate is the percentage of your audience that leaves your website without visiting a second page. So essentially, if I land on a website's homepage and I'm not all that interested in the material and I leave, I would be considered a bounce. You want people to be visiting more pages every time they visit. You want people to be spending as much time as possible on your site, looking at different content, different landing pages, maybe taking certain actions. So you want your bounce rate to be as low as possible. We can look into bounce rates on individual pages, on individual pieces of content, and as we identify where bounce rate is lower, then we can start to understand how our audience engages with our content and begin to develop content strategies around that lower bounce rate and that most engaging content. Lastly, we want to look at percentage of new sessions as the number of people who are being driven to our website for the first time. Cache data can be cleared, which means that this measurement isn't always accurate to 100%, but it gives us a good idea of how many users are returning to our website and how many users are visiting for the first time. Again, this is Corey Pageviews with T2 Marketing International and our video series on Google Analytics with the Social Media Strategy Summit. I hope you found this session helpful, and be sure to check back again soon for more great videos on the subject.